Again on ABC, brought to you in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
If we lose this game, they're going to kick us out.
It's been over 700 days since they lost, and yet they are playing for respect.
We got to go 30-0. I mean, we ain't got no choice.
We've played everybody. We're the second winningest team in the decade, 10-1 versus the SEC. We're beating Alabama, who's been the best. We're beating them 2 out of 3 national championship games.
Competing for a 5th straight ACC title, the Clemson Tigers feel slighted by the talk, or the lack thereof.
They don't talk about all the touchdowns.
Touchdown by Trevor Lawrence. Beat the end up the middle. Touchdown.
Give me a break.
This Virginia team is checking off goals.
B-Tech, Coastal, got the ACC championship.
And can now end the Tigers' historic streak.
We get beat, we're out.
On a championship Saturday night from the Queen City, Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Virginia representing the Coastal, Clemson out of the Atlantic. It's the ACC championship game. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome. With Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. LSU trying to make a point that they should be #1 in the country. And in the young history of the college football playoff, one is more important this year. You want to play 4, you definitely don't want to see Clemson in the semifinal.
Oh, no, and Dabo Swinney thinks his team should be #1. Make no mistake, there's no argument Ohio State and LSU have better wins this year than Clemson. There's no question. But I would argue Clemson is the most dangerous team coming into the college football playoff. Dabo Swinney talked this week about selective amnesia, the media forgetting what this team has accomplished in past years. Don't forget what they did against Notre Dame and Alabama less than a year ago, 30-3. 44-16, and this team, the 2019 team, is better on offense and could be better on defense. They're not going anywhere in the championships.
Yeah, Dabo did a lot of talking this week. Oh, by the way, they've won 27 in a row. Todd McShay, are you on the Clemson train?
Listen, Clemson to me is the most unknown of the 3. There are 3 teams. Forget about the 4. There are 3 teams that belong in the top 4, if you will, this year. LSU's the most proven. Ohio State has been the most complete. When you look at Clemson, they may be great. They may be average. We just don't know. But at this point, I think we're going to find out a little bit more about them tonight. And they always get hot late in the season. They're so well coached, and it has so much to do with Dabo and the way they develop players and develop their team as the season progresses.
Usually when we talk about a team stumbling, it's about a loss. Even when Clemson, when they stumble, they still win. The 1-point win at North Carolina, and it's amazing. Since that point, Grease, they're outscoring opponents by 42 points. They're killing people.
And there's a lot of it is that they're getting better on the offensive side. Jeff Scott, Tony Elliott, their co-coordinators are finding ways to get their best players the football. T. Higgins, in this situation, lines up, and there's a corner over him, right? When you bring the motion over, now you get T. Higgins lined up on a linebacker instead of the corner. That guarantees him a free release up to the second level, and when the safety peeks to the inside route with free release and T. Higgins, this is a house call. You're getting more creative sets from this offense in the red zone. Bunch set. You put T. Higgins at the point, the spear of that bunch, it guarantees 2 things. One, you're going to get press man-to-man coverage, and the second thing is you're getting yourself as much room to the field to throw the fade as possible. These are 2 examples of creative sets that Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott are using late in the season. You're going to see more and more of this, getting your best players in the best position to win.
Did you see game day this morning? I thought something was missing. Something was missing, right?
Yeah, where was Maria?
Maria Taylor was missing. She's here with us in Charlotte tonight. Good evening.
Yeah, it's coming to hang out with you guys on Championship Saturday. Well, for Virginia, Bryce Perkins tells me that he was trying to find all of the great ways and advantages that you can gain when you're playing offense against Clemson. So what did he do? He turned to that UNC matchup, that 1-point victory that Clemson had. He said he saw a lot of opportunities for them to utilize that slight edge. He also mentioned the fact that he can't even remember how many times that he watched that game over and over again. And we all know that Bryce Perkins is going to have a really great showing, and he has to. The guy that's thrown for over 3,000 yards and rushed for nearly 687, well, he's going to have a great one if they want to win the title tonight, guys.
Yeah, don't want to say it's all on Perkins, but it's all on Perkins for the offense. Bit ho-hum here for Clemson. They're here every year. Bit of a Super Bowl for Virginia tonight. Opening kick on the way.
The Nissan pregame rush with Kevin Nagandi is next after this message and a word from our ACC stations. You're watching Dr. Pepper Championship Week.
If we lose this game, they're going to kick us out. We got to go 30-0. I mean, we ain't got no choice.
And we've played everybody. We're the second winningest team in the decade. 10-1 versus the SEC. We've beaten Alabama, who's been the best. And we've beaten them 2 out of 3 national championship games. If we get beat, we're out.
He's got all those stats on the tip of his tongue. Here come the Tigers, the defending national champions. On a 49-degree night, clear skies, expecting a crowd of some 60,000 fans on hand here in Charlotte. You're watching the ACC Championship on ESPN as part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. Hopefully no more stats from Dabo. Here's Maria Taylor.
All right, Coach, your team has won 27 straight games. For the 5th straight year, you find yourself in the ACC title. How'd you describe the opportunity in front of them on Championship Saturday?
Well, special. I mean, these are special moments for both teams. You know, you work all year, play 48 quarters for the privilege to play these 4. So we're just honored to be here, represent our division, and hopefully play our best game.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
You got it.
Clemson has won the toss, and they chose to defer. For what it's worth, Bronco Mendenhall told us that if they had won the toss, they would have deferred. Seneca Millage is back deep for Virginia to get the ball first. No Joe Reed tonight for Virginia. That is significant. And the opening kick out of the end zone. Bryce Perkins had a monster game last week against Virginia Tech. How about 475 total yards, 3 touchdowns? But a year ago against the Hokies, he fumbled in overtime. And the memory prompted this tweet post-game on Saturday night. Said he kept the picture to the left of my screensaver for a whole year after we lost to Vatech. Promised to never feel like that again. The hug hit a little different this year. Virginia had lost 15 consecutive games to Virginia Tech. And they turn that around. On 1st down and 10 from the 25. Here's Perkins. He is the running game and he is the passing game. Able to complete Assis Dubois will pick up a 4 on 1st down.
And the challenge for this Virginia offense and for Bryce Perkins is to handle the emotions of last week and the stage of tonight. Bronco Mendenhall felt like the stage wouldn't be too big. The opponent may be, but he felt like his team was going to let it all hang out, nothing to lose. I think that's the right approach for this offense.
2nd down and 6. Here's Perkins under some pressure, try to escape. He can do that for you. 1st down and then some, still on his feet. And he's crashed down to the 41 by Kayvon Wallace.
And Perkins is the athlete. He's the guy that gives this team a chance against Clemson. He's got the speed, he's got the explosiveness, and he's going to have to be tough, and he's going to have to battle all night long, and he knows it.
Yeah, without Joe Reed especially, Todd, it's going to be all about Bryce Perkins.
Perkins with a great pocket, throws middle of the field, got a man, it's Dubois. Had one man to beat and couldn't shake the safety, Tanner Muse. It's a gain of 44, and here come the Wahoos.
Why not let it all hang out? They get one of their best receivers, Dubois, with a double move on the safety, Tanner Muse. The same thing that Clemson does with T. Higgins in the slot, getting up on a safety. Virginia says we're going to take the same kind of shot.
All the way down the field in a hurry. At the 13 of Clemson. Again, the pocket is clean. All sorts of time. Perkins throws that into the new sod here in Charlotte.
Boy, what a start. Bryce Perkins, it hasn't been clean down the field on a couple of looks, but in those cases, he's run the football and got a first down on the first opportunity. That time, nowhere to go with the ball, and he just throws it in the dirt, incomplete, live to fight another day.
And the first time they huddle up on this opening drive. There's a flag down. It's the handoff to Wayne Talapapa. And we get our first penalty of the night. Referee tonight is Riley Johnson.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
It's interesting there. Deciding to take the down away from Bronco Mendenhall. Bring up a 3rd and 10 here, and this Clemson defense, one of the most difficult defenses to score against in the country. They lead college football, only giving up 10 points a game. And Brent Venables on 3rd and 10, you know he's going to have something cooked up.
Two to snap it. Here's Perkins. End zone, back to the end zone, it is caught. They're going to say he was out of the end zone. Nolan Turner. It's an interception. Nolan Turner comes up with it for Clemson. Very close to that back line.
Just an overthrow here from Bryce Perkins on 3rd and 10. He's forcing this ball in. It goes way over the intended receiver, and Turner in great position, great awareness to have his feet inbounds, control that ball to the ground. Trying to get the ball to Terrell Chapman, and as good of decisions as Bryce Perkins had made during that drive, that was a force.
What an athletic play by Nolan Turner. So off the sudden change, Clemson to offense, and it's Trevor Lawrence to Justin Ross. Gain of 15 on 1st down.
When you have the opportunity to go in and score, and this defense time and time again for Clemson this season, this is the best turnover ratio that Dabo Swinney has had in his time at Clemson. It's been a big part of why they're so successful.
On the ground, here's Travis Etienne, a clear-cut face mask in the middle of all that traffic.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 91. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Mandy Alonso, a junior from Miami on Virginia. Could see that from a mile away.
Boy, just like that, Clemson is past midfield. This is the area of the field where they love to take shots to T. Higgins and Justin Ross.
Off the play fake. And the throw, and complete. There's T. Higgins. Gain of 10 on the play.
23-0 as a starter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just, it can't be any better than that. And everybody wants to talk about, well, he threw multiple interceptions in 3 games towards the beginning part of the year, but since that Louisville game, which was kind of a turning point, he has been flawless.
Here's Lawrence, going to keep it. And that's the big difference this season for Trevor Lawrence. He's got great legs, running for 20.
Well, Tony Elliott wants to run Trevor Lawrence 6 or 8 times a game, and this was a key. Alonso was in position there, but you see the speed, the athleticism of Trevor Lawrence. He's a more complete player this year, which is scary after watching what he did in the playoffs a year ago.
Guy's never trailed in the second half of any college game. Forget about winning them all. He's never trailed in the second half. Clean living, McShay. Out to T. Higgins. Down the sideline for the score. Touchdown, Clemson. Just like that.
The dilemma for the Virginia Cavaliers on defense is if you come up and you play tight coverage against Higgins and Ross, they're going to run by you. This time Nick Grant plays soft to make the ball be thrown underneath, but you got to come up and you got to make the tackle if you're Nick Grant. That's an easy touchdown for Higgins.
B.T. Potter on the extra point. And the Tigers draw first blood. Exactly how you'd want to start. Defer on the toss. Nolan Turner, the interception out the back of the end zone. And then it's Lawrence to T. Higgins. And in a jiffy, Clemson with 7-0 lead. Virginia about to get their second crack with the football. Had a beautiful drive going until the Perkins interception. Again, no Joe Reed. That's a rough loss for Virginia tonight, both as a receiver and a return man. Seneca Millage, about 1 yard deep out of the end zone. Millage out to the 23-yard line. The Clemson defense, hard to believe, they're better than they were 1 year ago. You see the sacks per game, so that's a little down, but the yards allowed per game this season is better. Dabo said he's been telling everyone since August. Nobody wants to listen to him.
It was kind of hard to listen to him, right? After you lose guys like Wilkins and Lawrence and Furl and Bryant, and only then you lose both inside linebackers and Trey Lamar and Kendall Joseph. You lose a corner in Trayvon Mullen. How are you going to be better?
Well,
but they're playing better team defense.
Already got the turnover here tonight. It's Terrell Jana on the receiving end. Darion Kendrick makes the stop, gain of 5, Todd.
You don't lose 5 defensive linemen, 3 of which go in the first round and wind up being better. I mean, that's why none of us did listen, but the way they've done it with the disruption and the different looks up front, especially in the defensive front 7, and then their secondaries just played better than it did a year ago.
Here's Perkins, who'll run forward for a few.
It's all about Brent Venables. It's very simple. He's one of the best, if not the best, defensive coordinator in all of college football. And he knows it, and all the offenses that go against him know it. And he's done an unbelievable job this season with these young players playing, especially the linebacker position. Skalski and Chad Smith have been outstanding.
On 3rd down and 3, it is caught. It's Dubois for the gain of 7 and a first down. It is amazing when you look at Clemson's defense. Last year with that NFL front 4, they were 70th in the country in explosive plays allowed. That's 20 or more yards. And this year, they're 4th in the country with a better back 7 and clearly not as good a front 4. Able to escape is Billy Kemp down the sideline. Chad Smith forced him out. Gain of 15.
So Tanner Muse, to use Dabo Sweeney's terms, has played a beautiful season. But he's gotten beat once already in this game, and now he misses this tackle right there. And not a great start for Muse. He's been outstanding throughout the course of the season, and he's been a solid, dependable tackler and coverage man in the back end. But he's got to, and you see him back there, he's upset with himself. He knows he's missed 2 plays.
Uses the super senior. This year is Hunter Renfro, if you will, in his 5th year. Here's Brennan Armstrong throwing for Bryce Perkins. Now, Grease wanted to call this the 50-cent package, but America knows it's the 50-cent package with 2 quarterbacks for Virginia.
Yeah, we were talking with Robert and I, the offensive coordinator, last night. He said we're going to have a couple of 2 quarterback packages in there. Brennan Armstrong's their backup, but he's a very talented young football player, just a redshirt freshman. And he said, why not? We're up against it from a talent standpoint. We have to have some wrinkles in order to move the ball in this game.
Armstrong is split out top of your screen, and that's Perkins out of the shotgun. Looked like that just slipped out of the hands of Perkins. And that will go for an incomplete pass.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication there with his receiver on the outside. Looked like Billy Kemp. He's trying to throw it to Kemp. He wants him to keep going to the sideline. Kemp comes back inside, and that's a breakdown by Kemp, because you don't roll a quarterback to one side and run a route going the opposite direction. He's supposed to keep coming to the sideline.
Armstrong is out. Perkins stays in. Standing at his own 46 in the shotgun on 3rd down and 10, just across midfield. Blitz is picked up nicely. And the crossing pattern, it's Janet. He's got it across the middle. It's a first down. Nolan Turner, pretty good coverage. Nothing he can do about that 12-yard completion.
So far, the story is up front. This offensive line and backs and tight end for Virginia are picking up the pressures from Brent Venables. That was flush pickup, a nice pocket for Perkins to throw from.
See if Turner's a little banged up. Remember, he made the interception in the back of the end zone on the first Virginia possession. So he'll watch for a bit.
Remember how important these first downs and time of possession is for Virginia, just keeping their defense off the field.
Perkins got some pressure, able to escape out of it. We've yet to see him slide. He's brought down at about the 32 by Chad Smith for a gain of 5.
There's no sliding tonight.
No.
But he's got to protect that football. Brian, we talked about it coming into the week, that he dangles it out there sometimes.
Yeah.
You see it when you watch him, but he is so dangerous with the ball in his hands.
Watch out, look at this formation.
What do you call that? You got terminology for that?
It's looked like a scatter. That's what I call that.
Scatter.
You got two guys in motion there. And that was very smart by Bronco Mendenhall, knowing that those guys were going to have to come set, stop, because you had 2 in motion. He avoided a 5-yard penalty.
So all of that fun, and Virginia has to spend a timeout. 7-0 in Clemson. Virginia on the move.
The ACC Football Championship game on ABC is brought to you by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Simply safe, protect home like a pro. And Taco Bell's Rolled Chicken Tacos Party Packs.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, introducing the newest honorary member of the College Football Hall of Fame, the Goodyear Blimp. Goodyear, more driven. You insulted by that at all? They got a blimp in the Hall of Fame and you can't get in, can't get a sniff? No? Blimp never even played it down. They never beat Ohio State one time. So you're insulted, highly insulted. Got it. 2nd and 5 from the 33.
I could say a lot of things about you right now, but I won't.
Here's Perkins running from the pocket. James Skalski forced him out. And very close. We'll see where they mark it. Going to give him 5, and they're going to move the sticks for the first down.
Yeah, they're going to give him a first down. It's a heck of a play by Bryce Perkins. He's avoiding the negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. And in this case, just getting what he can. Great block on the outside. And as Todd said, there's no sliding in Bryce Perkins. That's a good call, good spot. He's got to avoid the mistake here in the red zone. 1 interception already in the end zone.
From the 27. Rushing 4. Looking to go to Tanner Cowley, the tight end. Incomplete. Muse on the coverage there.
It looked like Cowley was trying to uncover to the inside, and Perkins was expecting him to uncover to the outside. Very fortunate. A lot of times when that happens and you're throwing the ball to the linebacker right behind him, you throw an interception.
See, they got Clemson to jump there. Perkins will throw it up, maybe a free play. The ball is dropped anyway. Kevon Wallace able to knock it away. We'll check the marker.
Offside. Defense number 3. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Xavier Thomas, the sophomore defensive end. Smart play by Perkins, knowing he's got him offsides and take a shot downfield. This offensive line has been up to the task so far in protecting Perkins against this pass rush of Pinckney, Tyler Davis, Foster, and Thomas.
And he trusts it. That's one thing I've noticed down here.
You see with that last run for a first down by Perkins. Now the school's career leader for a quarterback. Why not try to run for a few more? He'll lower the shoulder, get pounded down at the 20 by Skalski and company, gain of 2.
Well, one of the big questions coming in was how was Virginia going to respond after the emotional win against Virginia Tech last week and on this stage. And offensively, at least, they have taken the ball and moved it down the field against this very good Clemson defense.
3rd and 3. Perkins throws to the man wide open. It's Dubois. Touchdown. Virginia on the board. And he beats Muse for 20 and the score.
What a great call from Robert Anai, anticipating pressure. Brent Venables tried to dial up another exotic, and it came back to bite him.
Here's Brian Delaney. Did miss an extra point last week in the victory over Virginia Tech. He's good there. We're all tied at 7.
All 4 of these guys are going to drop out, and it leaves one-on-one with Muse. Dubois from the slot just runs right by him, and that time Brent Venables outthought himself a little bit. Great execution by Virginia on offense.
It's Fee Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
We all celebrate Fee Week. Hope you'll join us doing what you can. 7-all, 6:22 left to play here in the first quarter. Delaney will boot it away. That's Travis Etienne. Look to get his hands on the football. Goes a touchback. For the 5th year in a row, Clemson back in the ACC championship game. And for the 5th year, they face a different challenger from the old Coastal Division. They knocked down North Carolina. Here in Virginia Tech. Look out for the Pitt Panther. Clemson beat Miami. 18, there's the Panther. Boom! And what will happen to the Virginia Cavaliers? Tune in and find out. Like I said earlier, it's kind of ho-hum for Clemson. They're here every year. They win it every year, and it's always a brand new opponent for them in the ACC championship game. Etienne couldn't get his hands on the football on the kickoff, but he's able to gain there and pick up a yard. Nick Grant and Zane Zandier on the stops for Virginia.
Well, what a stage it is for Virginia. You know, the incremental improvements every single year under Bronco Mendenhall, and to finally get over that hurdle for Virginia Tech and to be on this stage and to be in a tight 7-7 ball game early, they're up to it.
Lawrence going to keep it on a good fake to Etienne. He's going to be just short. Give him 7, needed 9. Devontae Cross forced him out of bounds. 3rd and short.
Yeah, this Virginia defense playing without their best player, Bryce Hall. The corner is an All-American. He broke his ankle in the 6th game against Miami. They lost Darius Bratton. There you see Hall. They lost Bratton before the season started, the other corner. Then they lost Brenton Nelson, a safety. So they have been decimated in the secondary this season.
3rd down and 1. It is Etienne. He's got plenty. Out to the 40 for the first down. Joey Blunt made the stop. Gain of 7. Heskin Smith is the only defensive back of the 7 that went down to injury that actually returned. And he's coming back from a torn meniscus.
And they're not able to play the style of defense that Nick Howell would like to play. They played a lot more man coverage when they had those secondary players, but you're going to see a lot of soft coverage keeping Clemson in front of them.
They do get Chris Moore back from suspension. Violation of team rules. He missed the last 2 games. Lawrence will take a shot. Wide open is Justin Ross running away from people for the Clemson touchdown. 59 yards for the score. And the Tigers are back on top.
They're going to play off coverage in the slot. Then you got to get a jam or a reroute on both Higgins and Ross. You can't leave a safety like Blunt one-on-one, man-to-man, 10 yards off without a reroute off the line of scrimmage. That's just asking for these guys to run downfield. It's difficult, right? Because you got backups playing in there against 2 of the best receivers in college football.
Pick your poison. Potter on the extra point, and it's 14-7.
You got to play off, right? You got to play off, but you got to at least get some kind of pressure on the line of scrimmage.
Tomorrow, the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff matchups. Reese and the fellas will also unveil the New Year's 6 matchups and the final top 25. Don't miss the college football playoff selection show presented by AT&T. That's tomorrow at noon on ESPN.
I think there's two individuals on Virginia's defense that can fit that bill of rerouting and jamming at the line of scrimmage, and it's the 2 outside linebackers, Noah Taylor and Charles Snowden. They've got length at 6'7" and 6'5", and we were talking with Nick Howell, and he said, yeah, we're going to do some of that where they go out over the slot and get a jam on Justin Ross and on T. Higgins. Those are the perfect body types to do that.
The problem is the secondary. I mean, it's so obvious the lack of speed after those 3 major injuries.
Which is why you got to help him, right, Todd?
Millage thought about it for a second, and he'll take a knee. Take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by AT&T.
Wow, 4-7. 3 out of those 4 are lost. That's why a lot of people think Clemson, they don't have to necessarily win tonight and still be in because of that, right?
Certainly not after Georgia lost, too. Not going to find 2 better squads.
Yep.
People very disappointed in the Utah showing last night. Thought the Utes would put up a bigger fight, a bigger effort last night, and that was not to be. Credit to Oregon.
Credit to Oregon, yeah.
First down and 10 for Perkins. Gonna keep it. Nearly had him for a loss in the backfield, and instead it's a first down. Got by Skalski.
Yeah,
Nearly had him for a loss.
He comes free right in the middle, and Perkins, at 6'3", 215 pounds, you underestimate how physical, how big he is. Obviously, he's fast. We know that, but Skalski needs to break down a little bit, wrap up. He's had a great season, though. Dabo Sweeney pointed out that he is a special player. Smart football player, tough.
Perkins to throw and complete to Dubois. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, gain of 3. Skalski is a story. What you want to talk about clean living? Last year, his redshirt year, he played 4 games. He played against Georgia Tech, played in the ACC championship game, the Cotton Bowl, and the national championship game. I mean, if you could only play in 4 games, that's a red shirt.
Well, he's having to replace some good players. Kendall Joseph was such a dynamic player for this Clemson team a year ago. And Skalski has solidified things in the middle, and it's allowed Brent Venables to do so many different things because they're so smart in the back 7.
Quick throw complete. It's Dubois trying to reach forward for the first down. 6th catch already. An impressive start for him. His favorite target for Bryce Perkins. Of course, they'll be short. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Really, this is where Virginia, they miss having a running game. They really haven't had a running back-driven run game. Taulapapa is their number 1 running back, but it really has been Bryce Perkins, and we'll see if they use him again here in short yardage situation.
You would think Clemson would know that was coming too. Gonna throw for it on 3rd and 1. And complete to Billy Kemp. Got the first down. Driven out by Isaiah Simmons. Gain of 5 on the play.
You can see the confidence of Bryce Perkins. To Todd's point, right? The stage is not too big for him. He's trusting his offensive line. He's got nothing to lose. Right? His best player on the offensive side is out in this game, and Joe Reed going up against the number 1 defense in college football, and he's just letting it hang out. Throw the ball on 3rd and short, fine, I'll do it.
First down and 10. Ball is at midfield. North Carolina's the only other team to score a first-quarter touchdown against Clemson. And Virginia's got their touchdown. They nearly had 2. Here's Perkins throwing and sails it over the head of Dubois. Perkins started letting it hang out after Louisville. After that loss, he went to, of all people, the wide receiver coach, Marcus Hagans, And Higgins was nice. They call him Biscuit. Said, hey, just go out and have some fun. Let the other guys do their jobs. And that sort of put Perkins back at ease, and he's been terrific. They haven't lost since.
Yeah, and maybe the biggest compliment you can give a quarterback is they make everyone around him better. And that's the definition of Bryce Perkins. That's exactly what he did a week ago in the rivalry game. And you can tell this team, the entire team of Virginia, as Bryce Perkins goes, that's how the team goes.
2nd down and 10. Quick throw to Cowley, the tight end. About the 44. Wallace the stop, gain of 6.
I asked Perkins, why was it the wide receiver coach? You know, that's very unusual to hear. And he said that Higgins he's the king of Charlottesville. He's the guy. And he's like, I just trust him, and I have a great relationship with him, and I needed some guidance, and I got exactly what I needed from him.
25th offensive snap coming for Virginia. We're still in the first quarter. There's Perkins. Oh, had Billy Kemp all alone there for a moment. Got it over Jordan Williams' outstretched arms. 4th down.
That ball might have been tipped off the edge. I think it's Isaiah. No, it's not Simmons. It's Xavier Bryant right there. Gets a finger on it, but that ball was going outside. That's the 2nd time that Perkins and Kemp have been not on the same page. We saw him roll out, and he came back inside one time. That time, expected him to be outside again. You got to grab that receiver on the sideline and make sure you're on the same page.
4th and 4 from the 44 of Clemson. Punt formation for Virginia. That's Nash Griffin to give it a boot. Darion Kendrick will let it bounce. Takes a bit of a Clemson bounce to the 20. That's a 27-yard punt. 14-7, Tigers with the football in the lead.
What's good, Trevor? It's your boy, Deshaun Watson. Just want to wish you good luck, man. Keep doing your thing. Keep leading those boys. You know how we do down. The Georgia boys taking over, as we always do. Salute. Tigers all day. Clemson Tigers, all love and respect. My boy.
Kind of surprised is my boy, because Lawrence destroyed some of Deshaun Watson's records in high school at Georgia. Here's Travis Etienne running right up the middle for 14.
You know, I think the big thing, the difference in Trevor Lawrence I've noticed this year is the leadership, right? Last year he didn't have these deep-rooted relationships. He was new. He's a true freshman and takes over for Kelly Bryant. But now, after an offseason together, the relationships are deeper, and he's able to lead from a different standpoint.
Under some pressure there, and he's dropped. Taken down for the sack. Devontae Cross got to him for a loss of 8.
Well, you got to bring some pressure. Here's Cross right here. He's just going to come up. Cross is a converted quarterback who was then a safety. They moved him to corner, and now he's playing nickel, his 5th position on defense because of the injury to Brent Nelson, and he gets a big play.
Devontae Cross was Bronco Mendenhall's first recruit to commit at Virginia. Makes the big play there. Juggled and caught. T. Higgins knocked it to himself and then down the sideline. Nick Grant had the coverage. Got a piece of the football, 38 yards. Lawrence to Higgins.
Well, Nick Grant has been beaten already for a touchdown, and he felt like he read it right. He was going for the interception, make a big play, but look at the concentration by T. Higgins. Comes down with that football.
Taco Bell is celebrating student sections across the country. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell. See if your school made the national watch list and how your school can compete. We'll get the committee's attention by using the hashtag LiveMoss Student Section Contest. As we open up quarter number 2 with Travis Etienne able to stay on his feet. And he's down to the 27. Gain of 13 on first down.
Now this offensive line starting to exert their Will up front. You know, they lost some great players in Mitch Hyatt, Justin Falcinelli, but you talk with Jeff Scott, their offensive coordinator, he thinks this offensive line is the best that they've had since they've been here. And it's not because of the individuals, it's because collectively they're working so well together, and it's starting to show.
On first down and 10, Lawrence to throw, in and out of the hands of Justin Ross. There is a flag down.
Ineligible downfield, offense number 76. That penalties decline. Second out.
Never
Sean
fails.
Pollard.
You're talking about the offensive line.
Yes.
I was about to say it's the best group I've seen in 20 years of studying Clemson. I'm glad you went first, Grease.
It's not Sean Pollard's fault. That's a
No.
run-pass option.
Clearly.
Okay? He's just doing his job.
Jackson Carman is the only non-senior on that offensive line. He's the sophomore left tackle. Here's Lawrence to throw, knocked away. Matt Gamm able to bat it away. Third down.
Huge third down here for Virginia on the defensive side. If I'm Nick Howell, I'm going to bring a little bit of pressure. Try to get to Trevor Lawrence. You know you can't hold up back there on the back end against these receivers. So maybe you get some pressure on Lawrence.
On the 27 of Virginia on 3rd and 10. Lawrence, there's the pressure up the middle, and Lawrence can't get rid of it. Taken down by Noah Taylor and Nick Grant for the sack. And it pushes him way back to the 35-yard line. 4th down.
Great call from Nick Howell. You've got a great rusher in Noah Taylor. He's going to come off the edge, and then you're going to bring it off the slot. And this offensive line wasn't ready for it. You see the back release is out. If Trevor Lawrence gets that ball to ETN, he's still running, but you cannot give him enough time. That's what Nick Howell said to us. If he knows the coverage, he's going to cut you apart. You have to confuse him.
This will be a long field goal attempt for B.T. Potter. 51 is his career long. This from 52, and we get whistles. And I think a timeout was called.
There's no snap. Timeout. Clemson, first charge of the half.
Dabo icing his own kicker. Set for an update, here's Cassidy Hubbard. Cassidy. All right, Cass, thank you. Taylor had really struggled in a couple of previous games against them, averaging just 2.7 yards per carry, but he rips off the big one there.
Well, you got to feel pretty good if you're Bronco Mendenhall. You've given up 2 big plays, really, and it's in the passing game. Travis Etienne, you can live with the rushing yards on the ground. They've got 47 yards here in the first half.
All right, so Potter had missed that to the left. Clemson got the timeout prior to that. Here's another crack from 52. And that's to the right. There are flags down.
Offside. Defense number 1. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
All right, it was 4th and 18.
Wow, you don't want to give a kicker 3 chances, though. I mean, if you're Nick Grant, you just cannot be offsides. And Nick Grant has taken a couple of risks here in this game. We saw the completion of T. Higgins. He's already gotten a touchdown. It's the little things, the discipline.
All right, so from 52, it was 1 to the left and 1 to the right. This is from 47. For B.T. Potter. Snap in the place are good.
Yep.
And right down Broadway. So a critical mistake by Virginia.
I'll give a guy 3 chances, right? He misses one way, left, and then right. And he's going to figure it out eventually.
That's like 3 for $1 at the carnival. 3 points. Steve Levy, Brian Griese, Todd McShay, Maria Taylor from Charlotte, North Carolina. The ACC championship game, number 3 Clemson, number 23 Virginia. We believe Virginia, win or loss, is headed to the Orange Bowl. Cannot confirm nor deny. And we believe win or loss, Clemson is headed to the playoff. Pretty sure we can confirm that.
Well, that's a good start for Hasise Dubois. They found something here with him in the slot on Tanner Muse. Virginia has. When he gets up on Muse and able to run the double move, this was the first drive of the game, he's exposed him. And then on the touchdown, same thing. Brent Venables brings an exotic pressure where he drops out and Dubois gets loose down the middle. Now, Brent Venables, one of the best in the business at making adjustments. And I think the first adjustment he's going to make is getting some reroute on the slot and not letting Tanner Muse be isolated one-on-one at the safety spot.
This feels like an important possession for Virginia. Flip to Billy Kemp. And he's out beyond the 30. A.J. Terrell brought him down. He was there first, got some help from his friends. It's a gain of 7 on first down.
And already in this football game, Virginia has 136 yards passing. That's already more than Clemson averages giving up, only 126, and we're just into the second quarter. So Virginia has found some production in the passing game.
Perkins will do it himself for the first down. Gain of 4. Perkins came in leading all players in the ACC in total yards, better than 3,600. He's so important. A week ago, he rushed for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, those are just his rushing numbers. That was against Bud Foster's defense, too.
Yep. And you see Virginia huddling. Time of possession is so important in this game because of the explosiveness of Clemson's offense. Clemson only has 16 plays of offense. They got 17 points. And they're 2-1 in the time of possession, Virginia.
On the ground, Talapapa. Back to the line of scrimmage. Tyler Davis, the true freshman, in the middle of that Clemson defensive line. Dabo's called him the best interior lineman they've had at such an early age, back to Grady Jarrett. You know how much, and we know how much Dabo loves Jarrett.
They had a lot of great defensive linemen, so you say he's that good, that's a lot of praise. But Davis certainly has been, for a true freshman at 300 pounds, he's been a rock in the middle of this Clemson defense this year.
Second down and 9. Perkins steps through some people and won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He's forced out with authority, and players come together. Kayvon Wallace had the contact. There's some old school pushing and shoving. Bobby Haskins, the left tackle in the middle of it for Virginia.
Well, I was wondering about Kayvon Wallace and how he would play in this ball game. It's an emotional game for him from Richmond, Virginia. He wasn't recruited by the University of Virginia. And he said he will play the best 60 minutes of the season in this one. No question that there is inspiration and motivation for Kayvon Wallace, and a little bit of an extra push that wasn't needed on the sideline gets a rise out of the Virginia bench.
Perkins got an extra shove in there to the helmet also.
Wallace needs to be careful, right? There's a lot on the line for Clemson, not only in this game, but moving forward as well.
Two teams that have not met since 2013. They'll play next year in Death Valley in the regular season. All sorts of time. Now running out of clock. And Perkins will throw it away. Billy Kemp was in the neighborhood, and Perkins will pick himself up off the new grass. 4th down.
Yeah, great adjustment from Venables, right? He brought some blitzes early in the game and got beat at the corner position. This time, he doesn't bring, plays coverage back here. He's got 2 safeties. Just plays a zone and keeps it in front of him, rushes 4, and there's nowhere to go with the football. And eventually Simmons gets to the quarterback.
Nash Scriven back to punt. Will be the second punt. Bit of a low snap. Able to get rid of it. Fair catch is called for. It bounces off the Clemson player. And let's see who recovered. Clemson able to come up with the football.
Hey, ball hit Kendrick. Definitely hit Kendrick. Hits him in the face mask and falls right in the lap of Sheridan Jones.
Talk about being in the right position at the right time. Take a seat with the football. The ACC Football Championship game on ABC is brought to you by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville, and Pacific Life, 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future. Just 3 weeks ago was ACC Championship game. It was Virginia and Clemson again, and it was in soccer. And the Cavs men's soccer team pulled off a 3-1 upset. But you know Clemson is top ranked in men's soccer too, #1 team in the country. Here's Travis Etienne, able to stay on his feet, running away from people. Very close to midfield, it's a gain of 14. With that win, Virginia qualified for the NCAA tournament. They'll face the winner of Wake Forest, UC Santa Barbara next week. Good on the Who's men's soccer team.
You get the sense that Travis Etienne's getting ready to break one.
Why not feed him again? Etienne averages 8.3 yards per carry. That's ridiculous, of course. And 5.4 yards after first contact. Those are the best numbers in the country. And when Dabo says he's the best running back in the country, understand. But nationally, a lot of people don't seem to talk about him that way.
Not even on the Doak Walker list.
And that's some of Dabo's frustration.
Yeah, and it's warranted.
Here's Trevor Lawrence. On the run, throwing. See if they call that a catch. They call that a catch. He was very close to the line of scrimmage when he released the football.
Oh my gosh, watch this catch from T. Higgins. I mean, 6'4", reaches all the way out.
That's
toe
unbelievable.
Clearly on the
left toe in. They're moving the sticks.
Awesome.
And now they blow it dead. Let's see. See if you feel Lawrence was beyond the line of scrimmage when he released that football. If it stands, a gain of 24. And either way, it's a spectacular catch.
The previous play is under further review.
See that black line, which is not official. Any body part behind the line, and that's a legal pass. It looked to me like his right foot of Trevor Lawrence was behind the line of scrimmage, and that was clearly a catch from T. Higgins. No question, he controls this ball all the way through. Watch, it goes to one hand. He's got control of it, and that toe, left toe, was clearly in bounds.
It is amazing. To the naked eye, all these plays look out of bounds, and then on instant replay, everybody's in bounds.
How did he catch that?
I don't want to generalize, but everyone able to get a foot down, and in the NFL, they somehow get 2 feet down.
That ball was
amazing.
That ball was almost outside of the white there. Like, I mean, his full 6'4" extension out of bounds. That is some next level stuff.
And we were just talking about Etienne, and he's the workhorse. There's no question about it. But if you remember back to last year, late in the run for Clemson, late in the regular season, in the ACC championship game, and then into the playoffs, it was these receivers that started to step up and make huge plays.
Justin
and
Ross.
We're starting to see it again tonight.
Yeah, it was Justin Ross, right? Alabama had no answer for Justin Ross, and he didn't even start a game, but he became the most explosive player for Clemson in the playoffs and ended up with over 1,000 yards receiving.
And to have complete possession of the ball, and with that catch, no juggle, and get that toe in.
To use Todd's term, she's got great catch radius.
Yes.
There you go.
Probably got big hands too, McShay.
Hands, man.
If it stands, we've got Higgins, 4 catches, 91 yards. 10, 19, 38 yards, and again, at this stance, 24 more.
After further review, the quarterback was not beyond the line of scrimmage. The pass was caught inbounds with 1 foot down, so the ruling on the field stands. It's confirmed. First down.
See Riley Johnson, the referee. Every time he takes his earpiece out, I'd kind of like to do that with our producer, Josh Hoffman, before I get ready to speak. Just yank that earpiece out.
Sometimes I like to do that with you.
No!
But you're right next to me. I have no choice.
Right. I'll just talk louder, Grease. So it is a first down and 10. After a spectacular catch. Etienne right up the gut of that Virginia defense. Still on his feet. Touchdown. Travis Etienne making it look easy. 26 yards for the score.
You know, Clemson has a lot of talent at receiver, running back. The tight ends don't get a whole lot of credit. Luke Price here, watch him seal the end of line of scrimmage. Great vision by Etienne and a missed tackle by Blunt. You give him a crease and he's going to finish. There's no question about it. One of the best backs in college football.
An extra point is on the way and good. Scoring drives of 5 plays, 4 plays, and 4 plays for Clemson. And Travis Etienne, 7th consecutive game with a rushing touchdown. Ties a career high. Clemson appears to be on their way. We would ask you kindly to join ESPN and the V Foundation in the fight against cancer. Visit v.org/donate. And all the donations benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. We welcome you back. Charlotte, North Carolina, Bank of America Stadium. Charlotte Panthers on the road in Atlanta. They'll return to their home here next week. Get a visit from the Seattle Seahawks. 24-7 Clemson, 9 minutes to go in the half. And a touchback. Virginia embraces the spirit of the V Foundation with its Thursdays Heroes program. Linebacker Charles Snowden said of the heroes, they are fighting fights we can't imagine. And often those fights are with cancer. Last week's hero, 8th grader Zola Rain Barber, is in the midst of chemo treatments and will have surgery upcoming next month in January.
That is so cool. I think every college football program should have the structure within their athletic department to do things just like that. Every single one of them should.
We got Brennan Armstrong in the game. Perkins, though, able to complete to Assis Dubois, his 7th catch. And not only did Zola Rain spend last Thursday with the Cavaliers, she also got a shout-out from a local Charlottesville resident.
Zola, thank you so much for being a fan, and thank you for staying strong and for inspiring and motivating everybody around you. Sending you much, much love your way. Mwah.
Hey, Zola Rain had herself a week, huh? You get a shout out and a kiss from The Rock. Good all around. Good on Virginia. You said you had a chance to do that back in your college days as well.
Yeah.
How important that was to the Michigan family.
Yeah, exactly what Snowden was saying there. It gives you perspective, right? Like, yeah, you got a big game coming up against Clemson, ACC championship. Everybody, a lot of pressure. Come on, man. It's nothing compared to what these young men and women are going through. And it's a credit to Bronco Mendenhall and the culture that he is trying to build, has built at Virginia. It's not just about winning. It's not about doing great. It's about doing good at the same time. And kudos to all these players in Bronco for that culture.
That's part of the AND culture, A-N-D, that Bronco brings to Virginia. It's football and you can fill in the blank, whatever else there is that you want to do. It's Bryce Perkins for 6.
And now that they're winning, I mean, think about Bronco Mendenhall. He took over a program that was so far down. In 2016, they lost to Virginia Tech 52-10, and the two programs could not have been farther apart. And in 3-4 years, he's now gotten this program to the ACC championship.
I have a lot of family in Charlottesville, and they're so proud of these players and what this football team has become compared to what it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Here's Perkins to throw on 1st and 10. Again, has all sorts of time. Deep shot down the middle of the field, and it is knocked away at the last second. Dontavian Wicks was there. Isaiah Simmons had the coverage. 2 players wearing orange breeches back there to knock it away.
Yes, and your eyes are not deceiving you. That is Isaiah Simmons back there, the outside linebacker, rush defensive end, and also a former safety. Knows how to play in the back end.
So Coach Mendenhall, when he was coming to Virginia, he said on his checklist, he said, I wanted to go to an awful program. That was his word. He said, I want to go to an awful program that is passionate about something besides football, in addition to football. Imagine having that on your checklist. And he has turned things around nicely. That's Dubois. Gain of 2 on the play.
Well, I was down on the field before the game. I had a chance to talk with the president of the University of Virginia, Jim Ryan. And I'll tell you, there could not be more aligned with the value proposition of what Jim Ryan, Carla Williams, the athletic director, and Bronco Mendenhall are building at Virginia. It's really cool to see.
3rd down and 8. Does put everything in perspective. Again, with plenty of time, sailed through the hands of Billy Kemp, incomplete. 4th down.
A missed opportunity there for Virginia. This is the president, Jim Ryan. This summer, he was invited to come work out in the offseason with the team, and he's running wind sprints right alongside. How many presidents do you see do that?
Yeah, we haven't come across too much of that. Hey, we haven't come across a head coach like Bronco Mendenhall either. They're trying to do it and do it differently at Virginia. There's Nash Griffin back to punt. 3rd time tonight. Griffin's running around back there, and only at the very end, very close to the sideline, will he get it away. Kendrick the fair catch. So after every Cavalier win, Bronco Mendenhall picks a player to have the honor of breaking the rock. And when they beat Virginia Tech for the first time after 15 straight losses, the players had a different idea.
We want you to break the rock.
That's so cool.
Right?
So cool. Emotional for him.
Started 2-10, and he said things were actually worse than he imagined. That was a 2-10 in that first year. Now in his 4th season, Luke Price on the receiving end. I want to say Mendenhall got off to a rough start. Virginia's first game with Bronco as head coach. With all due respect to McShay, they lost to Richmond. hey, oh, really? Now you're offended.
Well, at the beginning of the year, they said they had 3 goals, right? Beat Tech, break the rock, and then party, and he checked all those off.
Lynn J. Dixon, the ball carrier for Clemson, hit pretty good after he picked up 4 yards on the play. And it's ZZ stop, Zane Zandier on the tackle for Virginia. It'll be a 3rd and 1.
Yeah. ZZ stop? Was that you?
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that quick. You know, I couldn't have come up with that myself. Just over 5 to play in the first half.
3rd short here when you lean on the big uglies up front.
In the gut of Dixon.
John Simpson, the left guard, has really stood out to me watching the film this year of Clemson's offensive line. You know, they lost Falcinelli, they lost Mitch Hyatt, and Simpson has really become the bell cow up front. He doesn't just get on people, he moves people out of position and into the defensive backfield. That's something they really haven't had a whole lot of Clemson on the offensive line in past years.
Fake the run, and it's Lawrence to Higgins. His 5th catch. It's a gain of 8 on the play, so 2nd down and short. Simpson is a guy who you might see has a nasty disposition on the field, but we're told he never has a bad day. He's one of those guys. And along with Gage Cervenka, I know Todd McShay has them among the top 5 guards that'll be coming out, heading to the NFL. See if we get a false start there.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Second out.
That might dampen Simpson's day.
Boy, we're 2 for 2. Well, the biggest question for Clemson coming into this season was the left tackle position, and they lost Mitch Hyde, and Jackson Carman was just a true sophomore, hadn't played a whole lot. How is he going to hold up? And he has really matured and grown and played well.
Second down and 8. Lawrence throwing across his body to Justin Ross. Beats one man cross midfield. And he's into Virginia territory. It's a gain of 20. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds.
Ross is so quick for a guy his size. It's amazing to see how he moves. Just the ability to break tackles and go make plays with his body control. Amari Rogers, T. Higgins, Justin Ross, these guys are so special.
Looked like he stepped out of bounds before midfield. They're getting away with it. Well, they snapped the football. Lawrence. And it's Etienne trying to hit him out of the backfield. Just a step too far.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted. Etienne out of the backfield on the wheel route against Devontae Cross. That's normally a ball Etienne catches.
Beg your pardon, not a step too far. That's a drop for Travis Etienne. Remember, Etienne had that bad game in their one stumble at North Carolina. The unfortunate part for Etienne was that was going into a bye, so we had to hear Dabo for 2 weeks talk about the one off game of his career, probably. Here's Lawrence to throw. Zips it in there to DeAndre Overton, his first grab. It's a gain of 19.
So I'm interested to ask Todd what he thinks comparing this receiving core of Clemson to Alabama.
Oh, man. I'll go Alabama. I think Alabama's a little deeper because of the 4. But this group is so talented, too.
Lawrence will keep it. Take on some people. He's got that big 6'6" frame. The contact with Charles Snowden. It's a gain of 9.
I think you're going to see more of that with Trevor Lawrence as this playoff stretch comes. Remember when we watched Deshaun Watson 3 years ago?
Yep.
He got more and more carries as the games got bigger and bigger. And I think Dabo Swinney knows, listen, I need to get this guy some reps running the ball so he knows how to read it. He knows how to protect himself. And you're going to see more of him as the year goes on.
66 yards rushing for Lawrence last week against South Carolina was a career high. It's T. Higgins. And they do mix the run with the pass very nicely. Well-balanced offense for Clemson here tonight, gain of 12.
Well, the scary part is, as I said earlier, it might be the best offensive line Clemson's had in 20 years of studying them. Then you talk about the wide receivers. Then there's Etienne. Oh, no, by the way, the #1 overall pick a year from now at the quarterback position in Lawrence. So where's the weakness on offense?
Etienne has swung around. Richard Burney able to bring him down, gain of 4. And so with everything you just said, why isn't everybody around the country in love with Clemson, Todd? That's what Dabo's yelling and screaming about all week.
Everybody just said it's a lazy take, okay? It's what it is. It's a lazy take that you're not watching, you're not paying attention because they're just playing inferior opponents in the ACC. And Dabo's point is, listen, judge us for who we are, not who we're playing. And LSU and Ohio State are going to find out who Clemson is.
Second down and goal, 11th play coming. And we get whistles. It's like a false start.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty.
Second center. You could almost see Dabo with his palms in the air like, what do you want from us? We play everyone, it's on our schedule, and all we do is win 27 consecutive games. They're the defending national champions, and when they have to beat Alabama, they do so, and rather easily, to the tune of 44-16 in the championship game a year ago.
They played 2 SEC opponents out of conference in Texas A&M and South Carolina this year, so their schedule certainly is up for debate.
Thought about the option. Lawrence will keep it. Taken down by Joey Blunt. Gain of 4 on the play.
We've been meeting with Dabo for years now, and I asked him point blank. I was like, listen, you've never really changed. You're always optimistic, but it seems different this year. Like you're defending your team for the first time ever. And he said, yeah, I couldn't even get the question out, to be honest. And he was like, yeah, I am defending my team because no one respects us the way that we should be respected.
3rd down and goal.
Virginia has to have a stop here before half.
Clemson gets the ball to start the second half, too. Lawrence back of the end zone, juggled and caught. T. Higgins, 2nd touchdown. And they'll take another look at it, but for now it's a score and a 30-7 lead by the Tigers.
And Virginia decided to play man-to-man with Heskin Smith, the corner, one-on-one with T. Higgins. And he has good position, good coverage, but you just give T. Higgins a chance, and he's going to make the play. Heskin Smith is only starting his 3rd game of his career, and he's going up against one of the best receivers in college football.
Potter boots it through. Bronco Mendenhall said that when Clemson kicks a field goal, that's a win. And when they get a punt, you'll see a big celebration. No punts yet for Clemson.
The super big Samsung QLED TV is made for football.
Make sure you stay tuned for the Capital One halftime report, and don't miss the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway. 2 deserving students compete for a grand prize of $100,000 in tuition from Dr. Pepper. How about 2 deserving broadcasters maybe getting in on that? $100,000 in tuition. Hey, Mom, send money.
You got some student debt I don't know about?
No. I'm going to have a lot of student debt when my kids get old enough. Here's Seneca Millage from the end zone. Comes out just shy of the 30. Make sure you kick off your NFL Sunday tomorrow with NFL Countdown. This week, how who dat became a Saints rallying cry. Catch Countdown tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then Monday Night Football, the Giants head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Coverage kicks off in Monday Night Countdown at 6 on ESPN and the ESPN app. Eli Manning to start at quarterback for the football Giants. Grease, somebody's going to win the NFC East.
Could be the Cowboys in their disarray.
Losing record, too. That's the setup for Monday night. See if Eli's got another good game left in him. See if he can hurt the Eagles there. Virginia will spend a timeout with 38 seconds left. (31-7). And I guess as we approach halftime with some 38 seconds left before the break, no one should be surprised. 3rd-ranked Tigers came in as a heavy favorite. And as Dabo says, every game's a playoff game. They need style points. They have something to prove. And maybe later we'll get into the argument whether Clemson should be ranked higher than 3rd, Grease.
Yeah, certainly you could make that argument. They're defending national champions. I think they're better on the offensive side, right? Think of what they lost from a year ago. Mitch Hyatt, yeah, Falsinelli, Hunter Renfro, but everybody else is back.
Right.
And they're playing better team defense. So you could argue that they're better than they were a year ago, and that's scary. But I don't think you could argue against Ohio State and LSU. They have better wins. Well, that's why they're 1-2.
Ohio State's in some trouble early on tonight. They're trailing 14-0, I'm told. So don't be sold on Clemson definitely being locked into that 3 spot. Let's see exactly what happens the rest of the night. Gain of 7 on the play and another timeout. It's a loss of 7, I beg your pardon.
I'm happy that we have a playoff system of 4 teams and we're not in the BCS, because if we had this situation, right, it would be a nightmare.
Well, how about the people that are calling for the 8-team playoff?
Forget the 8.
Well, hey, a lot of people are saying that, Grease. So not this year.
We've had. What was Oklahoma Baylor today? That was a quarterfinal. Okay.
Right.
What is Ohio State is in a situation right now, right?
Yes,
the
they are.
Utah situation. So we've had these games that are leading into the semifinals. I think it's great where it is. Dabo Swinney thinks it's great where it is. I asked him that question yesterday, and he likes the situation that it's in. Right? He liked the BCS. I was like, there's no way. If you were Clemson this year, number 3, there's no way you would be liking the BCS.
I think a lot of people feel that way, and I think whether we want it or not, an 8-team playoff is coming.
Could be, yep.
That's America. Make everything bigger, more inclusive, and see if it makes it better. We'll see. That pass is knocked away. Kayvon Wallace nearly had it. 26 seconds left in the half, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, almost a big mistake here for Bryce Perkins. You get pressure right here, you just got to eat it, right? Keep the clock running and protect the football.
The scary thing about Isaiah Simmons, he's probably the best cover linebacker in the country, and you just saw what he can do as a pass rusher.
Yeah. Nash Griffin back to punt. Final half minute. Got some pressure. There is some contact. Darion Kendrick will let it bounce. I don't see any flags on the field. It's a 52-yard punt. And it goes a dandy for Nash Griffin. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, recognizing those who strive to rise above the rest. Goodyear, more driven. You know, those punters, they can act from time to time, too. Let's see if there was definitely some contact.
I pulled up. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely not. When you throw the hands up, too.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Looking for a call and won't get him. A long way from Broadway. Etienne going the wrong way. That'll go for a big loss in the final seconds, we would think, of the half. Clemson, that's their 6th possession officially, but on the 5 true possessions so far, 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal as we hit halftime. End of the first half for the ACC championship. 31-7 all Clemson. Now it's time for the Capital One halftime report with Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, and Mark Sanchez. After these messages from your local ABC station.
Welcome back to Dr. Pepper Championship Week.
You're watching the ACC championship on ESPN as part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. Welcome back, everyone, to Charlotte, North Carolina. 3rd-ranked Clemson Tigers leading the 23rd-ranked Cavaliers of Virginia 31-7. And I would not expect Dabo Swinney to take his foot off the pedal. He was rather angry Dabo this week. We'll see what happens in the second half with Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. And look, the goal, you know, we talked about getting number 1. LSU took care of their business.
Yeah.
We've seen Clemson in the first half, and now we see Ohio State struggling. The key is to get to 1, because 2-3, really, that's not going to matter.
Well, if Ohio State can't come back, right, down 14-0, then they're going to earn themselves a date with this team from Clemson,
right.
And nobody wants to see that right now. So certainly it is material.
And we would all expect Oklahoma in the 4th spot right now. But the exclusive reveal comes your way tomorrow on ESPN at noon Eastern. You get all that. Rankings, New Year's 6 matchups, and of course the playoffs. Who's in? Travis Etienne is in with the football from the 6. That first half, Clemson gets the ball to start the second half, and Etienne is hurtling over the kicker, Brian Delaney. 33-yard return down to Maria Taylor.
Well, Steve, coming back out from the locker room, Brocco Mendenhall said the message to his team was simple, that the mindset was correct, but the execution did not quite match it. So he told his team, all we can do now is play hard for the next 30 minutes of this football game. Dabo Swinney, on the other hand, he was effusive in his praise of Bryce Perkins and what he's been able to do in that first half, but was also proud of the way his offense was able to deliver those 31 points in the first half.
All right, Maria, thank you. On 1st down and 10. Travis Etienne, right where he left off in the first half. It's the long kick return, and then it's 24 yards from scrimmage there as we check out tonight's Pacific Life game summary.
Yeah, and Etienne, you keep giving him the ball, and he's going to continue to wear on you. Now, 10 carries, 80 yards in this football game, and a touchdown. And why wouldn't you continue to give it to him? Right up the middle, this offensive line, and John Simpson wearing on you.
Here's Lawrence rolling to his left, thrown across his body. Amari Rogers was in the neighborhood. Here now the aforementioned Pacific Life game summary.
And a lot of it's been Trevor Lawrence throwing to T. Higgins. You play soft coverage on the outside for Virginia, not to get beat deep, and you miss tackles. And Trevor Lawrence has had time, his confidence, and finding his best players. He's in a rhythm.
2nd and 10. It's Lynn J. Dixon out of the backfield. Nothing doing there. Devontae Cross had a nice first half for Virginia. Makes the stop there. What if I told you that Trevor Lawrence had 8 consecutive games with 3 touchdown passes? I mean, that's quite a streak. And you know, we said on the season they're beating teams by an average of 35 points per game. And after the North Carolina 1-point win, that even went up to an average margin of victory of 42 points. So that falls in line with Lawrence having those big numbers. 3rd and 17. Chance for Virginia to get off the field, and it is dropped. Overton could not hang on.
We talk about the confidence and the maturation of Trevor Lawrence. Watch his calm in the pocket here. There's going to be a free rusher right there, and he just slides, gets his shoulder down, and makes an accurate throw. Overton drops that football, but that is what you see the growth of Trevor Lawrence, and just being calm in the pocket, knowing exactly where his receivers are and making accurate throws.
So poised. I'm so impressed with what he's done this year. When you look back to the first few games and the struggles that he had and the interceptions that he threw, and then to bounce back after hearing all that noise and really not to be fazed by it.
The first punt of the night for Clemson does not bring out a celebration for Virginia. It's a 30-yard punt. Take a look at tonight's first half stats brought to you by Geico. And Virginia actually got off to a very nice start. Pretty good first drive, and then there was the interception in the end zone.
Yeah, you can't make any mistakes against this Clemson team, and that interception certainly didn't help them, and they haven't been able to stop Clemson offensively. And you know, just to follow up on what Todd was saying there about Trevor Lawrence, there was so much expectations on this kid after playing almost perfect football against Notre Dame and Alabama in the playoffs last year. The expectations were way too high, and it wasn't until he started really. You see a first down here for Virginia. It wasn't until he said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about the expectations after the Louisville game, because he had 3 games of throwing 2 interceptions. And after the Louisville game, he said, you know what, I don't care what everybody else thinks. This is about playing well for my teammates. And when he did that, that's when he started to play really good football.
And as you know, Grease, that attitude will help Lawrence at the next level.
There's no question. You're going to get knocked down.
A little adversity, a little chaos, a lot of criticism as an NFL starting quarterback. A jump ball that is won by Hassis Dubois. They talk about 50-50 balls. How about that play by Dubois?
That's an unbelievable play by Dubois. A.J. Terrell is right there in good position, and Dubois has shown up in this ACC championship. Has a touchdown, and he's made play after play. 9
catches for Dubois. The rest of the team has 7 combined. Hassis Dubois playing in his 50th game for Virginia. Joe Reed is stuck on 49. Reed unable to go tonight. Had been dealing with knee and hip injuries. He was the only first-team All-ACC player on Virginia in 2 categories, all-purpose and as a return specialist, and he was unable to go. That's a critical loss to Virginia, and they're feeling the impact all over the field. It's a loss of 4 on that play.
Clemson decided to bring a corner pressure here. Watch the corner here. This will be Tanner Muse one-on-one with the receiver. That's where Bryce Perkins has to go with the football. You know the blitz is coming. You got to let it go. You can't just eat it in the middle. It's a missed opportunity. Bryce Perkins has made those reads and made those plays consistently all year for UVA, and they've made some of these plays against Muse one-on-one earlier in this game. That was a missed opportunity to get back to it.
2nd down and 14. at the 41 of Clemson. Again, the pocket is good. Perkins thought about taking it off. Able to complete to Billy Kemp. There is a flag down. I don't want to steal Cassidy Hubbard's thunder, but Ohio State is on the board. They trail 14-7 now with 18 seconds left in the half there.
Defensive holding, number 1. 10-yard penalty. Since the ball crossed the line of scrimmage, that's an automatic first down.
That's Darion Kendrick.
See him grabbing the jersey of Jana. It's an easy call for the official. Darion Kendrick is, that's the other player that really not a lot of people knew about coming into this season. A very, very highly recruited player. He takes over for Trayvon Mullen, but he's going to be somebody as these playoffs come on as well. He's going to see better and better receivers. He's going to be targeted opposite of A.J. Terrell.
From the 32 of Clemson. Perkins will throw, and he's in love with Billy Kemp all of a sudden. Right back to Kemp, working on Chad Smith. It's a gain of 6 there. Kendrick's an interesting story. He came as a wide receiver. They needed some bodies on defense, and apparently all the offensive coaches kissed and hugged him goodbye because they knew after one practice he was not coming back to the offense. And now an important player on that Clemson defense. 2nd down and 4. On the 26. Kemp in motion. Perkins not looking that way. That's an incomplete pass in a big way. Looks like some miscommunication there. 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Brent Venables has really gotten out of a lot of the man-to-man that he's been playing. He's playing more zone, and I think it's smart for 2 reasons. One is all your defenders keep eyes on Bryce Perkins. That's what he's really worried about, is him running. So you play zone to keep your eyes on the quarterback. And then number 2 is you're forcing him to throw into tight windows. And you're not exposing guys like Tanner Muse in slot versus slot receivers.
4 down territory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go on 3rd and 4. Perkins throws and completes. Good job in heavy traffic. Dubois hauls it in, his 10th catch. That's a 1st down, gain of 5 on the play. That's a career high for Assis Dubois, the senior from Irvington, New Jersey. Already, Virginia's done better than the last couple of Clemson opponents. The Tigers holding each of their last 2 opponents, Wake Forest and South Carolina, to merely a field goal. And here Virginia already has a touchdown and looking for more at the 21 of Clemson. Blitz picked up nicely. Perkins lofts one to the end zone. It is juggled and incomplete. Terrell Jana had it, and then he didn't. Kayvon Wallace made sure of that on the coverage.
Wow, this was a great play all the way around. A great throw, a great route by Jana, but all of that was negated by Kayvon Wallace. He never gives up on the play, just continues to run and get his hands in to Jana's chest.
And that's tricky to do.
Yeah.
You know, when you're that close to be able to get physical but not push too much to get the penalty flag. That was a great play by 12.
2nd down and 10 from the 21. Here's the pressure. Flushing Perkins out of the pocket. He'll connect with Billy Kemp. That's a gain of 7 on the play.
What does Brent Venables decide to do here on 3rd down and 4? You know, he's been pretty consistent, bringing pressure, bringing some blitz. He brought one there on the last play. If you're going to bring pressure, you got to contain 3 in the pocket.
6th catch of the night for Kemp. Here's 3rd and 4.
There's some confusion on Clemson's defense. Guys looking over. Wallace is looking over. Now they're changing. They're going to play zone. They audibled when Virginia audibled.
Perkins, a quick throw inside, has Jana for the 1st down, gain of 8 on the play.
See some of the chess game going on between Robert Anaya, the offensive coordinator, and Bryce Perkins right now. And that time they knew that Venables was going to check into his zone, drop 8, and just very confidently throws a little stick route and convert a 1st down.
Funny you mentioned chess. Jan is a big-time chess player. Plays Chris Sharp all the time. Got a feeling there are a lot of chess players on this Virginia squad. First down and goal from the 8. With the pressure in his face, Perkins gets rid of it. It's Jana for the touchdown for Virginia. It's check, it's not checkmate. 31-13.
Exact same blitz that Venables brought earlier in this drive. You leave Tanner Muse out there. Bryce Perkins missed it early in their drive. Took a sack. This time he didn't miss.
Here's Delaney for the extra point. Boots it through. Clemson hasn't given up 14 points since November 2nd. And that was Wofford. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear from end zone to end zone. Goodyear, more driven. Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. Clemson all-time is 6-0 in this stadium. Virginia had never lost either. They're 3-0. Proverbial something's got to give tonight. And it looks like the Cavaliers are giving them right back in the game with a 31-14 score now. 8:21 left in the third quarter. Delaney to kick it away for Virginia. And Etienne is back deep for the Tigers. Kick it out of the end zone. The William V. Campbell Trophy, presented by Mazda, recognizes combined academic success, football performance, and leadership. Considered as the academic Heisman. And Virginia linebacker Jordan Mack is a finalist for the award. 3.47 GPA. He's going to graduate this month. Leads Virginia in sacks. Also volunteers at the Kindness Cafe, an organization that employs people with cognitive disabilities. He's one of those guys. When Bronco Mendenhall talks about end.
Yeah.
Football is important to him, but so are so many other things.
Really impressed talking with him yesterday. I mean, such an outstanding young man. And that's my favorite trophy, honestly. It's my favorite trophy. You can, I get it, the Heisman's big, but to me, the Campbell Trophy is the highest honor for a college football player.
And it just doesn't get talked about. And that's why I threw in the nickname, the academic Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
So you get an idea. But what an honor that is, that would be. There are 12 finalists around the country.
Yeah. Because you have to be a good football player. It's not just about academics. You got to be a good football player, and you have to have great academics, and you have to be great in the community. I mean, that's what it's all about, being a student athlete in college. And it's kind of interesting. The last two winners of the award were both from Clemson, and Christian Wilkins a year ago, and then Micah Kaiser from Virginia 2 years ago.
Lawrence, deep shot down the middle of the field, and T. Higgins. It stayed up in the air forever, and even with two Cavalier defenders in his face, Higgins brings it down for 54 yards.
Boy, Nick Grant is he's having a tough night, and he's trying his best. You know, this is just a superior athlete going up in a situation, just a jump ball. Hey, go down there and I'll throw it up to you. And these 50-50 balls throughout college football are 80-20 balls for T. Higgins.
First down and goal. Lawrence, the handoff to Etienne. If he gets out of this some way, no, he won't. That's a big loss on the play. Had the big stiff arm on Matt Gam, but it's a loss of 7.
Going back to Higgins, well, what are you supposed to do? 6'4", 215 pounds. He's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to run probably 4 or 5 in the 40-yard dash, and then every time the ball's up in the air, he's got all those inches on you and the length. He's a special player.
And you wouldn't even call that a good throw.
You don't have to make a great throw.
No, that's the beauty.
Here's Lawrence. That's a good throw. T. Higgins, touchdown Clemson. That took Just a handful of plays to go all the way down the field after Virginia scores. That is the third touchdown catch of the game for T. Higgins. Wow.
I mean, it honestly feels like they're just giving ETN the ball a couple of times to make sure he's happy, but they can throw the ball every single snap. They could score in 4 or 5 plays every single drive.
ETN has 6 fourth-quarter carries all season. And that just speaks of blowing people out. And I wonder who we'll see in the fourth quarter here tonight. How about this, Grease? 4 touchdown drives of 5 plays or less. Who wants to play Clemson in the playoffs? Lawrence, the new ACC championship game record for him. He's got 4 touchdown passes.
The ACC Football Championship game on ABC is brought to you by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville, Bright House Financial, build for what's ahead, and Samsung QLED TV, the official TV sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Clemson trying to be the first team to ever win a conference championship game 5 straight years. Nobody's ever done that before. See Trevor Lawrence with 4 touchdown passes. And Trevor Lawrence got to be throwing to somebody. And in this particular game, it's T. Higgins. Most wide receiver touchdowns in Clemson history. They have had their fair share of greats. And Higgins doing things tonight. 3 touchdown catches, 182 receiving yards. Both of those numbers are ACC championship game records. And Higgins, a guy who had to be convinced really to play football. He was Mr. Basketball in the state of Tennessee. His mom had to bribe him to play football. She did it with Hot Wheels. Who doesn't love Hot Wheels? Looks like the right move, Mom, as usual. He's got some Hot Wheels indeed. 38-14 Clemson. Set for an update. Here's Cassidy Hubbard. All right, did not see that coming, Cassidy. Thank you. Back to the run game, which has mostly been dominated by Bryce Perkins. Wayne Talapapa on the carry there. 5 yards on the play for him.
Well, you can't help, after watching that highlight, you can't help but think, you know, that's the first time Ohio State this season has really looked mortal. And what's going to happen if they end up losing that game? Woo. I mean, they're working their way into a date with this Clemson team, and they look stronger than ever.
Quick out of the backfield. Talapapa, gain of 10 on that play. And
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I think there's a big difference between teams that get better as the year goes on and teams that don't. And Clemson certainly has gotten better.
See the All-State playoff predictor. How you feel about that?
What happens if it's like a 21-point game tonight?
They lose by 21?
Yeah.
Well, Wisconsin has 6%. I don't know if you could see that.
I'm not worried about those percentages. I'm trying to have a real conversation.
Oh, you wanted a real conversation. Gotcha. Perkins there, but to me,
but one of their losses was to Ohio State. The other was a really bad loss, 24-23 to Illinois.
And Bryce Perkins still down on the field.
That's Brennan Armstrong, the backup quarterback. We've seen him in the game. Armstrong a couple times, but I would say no offense in the country depends on one player more than Virginia with Bryce Perkins. We'll be right back. Just fine as he jogged off the field while we were away in commercial break. We'll see if he's out for just one play. It's Brennan Armstrong, the redshirt freshman from Shelby, Ohio, in the game. Again, he's been in the game earlier tonight. 2 quarterback package. Armstrong fumbled the football. able to recover. And if that's your one play, and instantly Perkins comes running in.
Well, it's his own read, right? He has to read it and make the decision whether to pull it, and looked like he just wasn't on the same page with Talapapa. Fortunate to get it back. It's been a day for backup quarterbacks, hasn't it?
Yes.
Baylor.
Sometimes you got to go 3 deep if you're Baylor. Clemson defense was not set. Perkins to Billy Kemp for a whole yard.
I'm sure Greasy doesn't know the feeling, but it's not fun coming in frozen cold after standing around all night.
I don't think that has anything to do with holding on to the ball, though, Todd.
No, I know.
Can we talk about Baylor for a second? What a job, what a season.
Yeah, don't let it get lost. The real story is Matt Rule and what he did with that program.
They were a 1-win team a couple years ago. There's the fake.
Yeah.
It's Nash Griffin, the punter, able to throw and complete to Hayden Mitchell. All of that on a punt and not going to get there. It's a 2-yard completion.
Great play by Skalski, the linebacker. He wasn't fooled. Number 47 on the outside. He read it, came up, made the play along with Simmons. No chance.
Back in Charlotte, the ACC championship game. Clemson enjoying a 38-14 lead over Virginia. Virginia pulls off the fake punt for a 2-yard completion and then turn it over on downs. Lynn Dixon, the ball carrier for Clemson. Well, tomorrow it's another big game for Virginia. Cole Anthony in North Carolina taking on the Hoos, 4 Eastern on the ACC Network. And over on ESPN, the Women's Jimmy V Classic is back. Notre Dame and UConn. You can stream both games on the ESPN app. 2nd down and 2 from the 41. On the ground, it's Dixon again, trying to turn the corner, and he will get the first down. Cole Anthony is projected to be a top 5 pick. McShay, where did you have Cole Anthony on your big board? I was just curious.
Top 5.
You did really? You don't do college basketball into the NBA. I got you. No, Anthony is supposed to be a top 5 pick in the 2020 draft. Get a chance to see him. Virginia was somewhat concerned that fans would not make this trip because the basketball team was home for North Carolina tomorrow. It's tough to tell. There's a lot of orange in the building tonight. Just can't tell which side's orange. Primary color for both. A whole lot of flea flickering going on. Here's Lawrence to get rid of it. Etienne is tackled. But Clemson says, you got a trick play, we've got one too.
Well, I got you. You know, this game is clearly in control of Clemson, right? The double reverse, flea flicker statement you want to put on this one. You just put Trevor Lawrence in a lot of harm's way right here. Very fortunate that he didn't take a bigger shot than that.
Aaron Falmouy got a piece. Got Etienne, Overton in there on the flea flicker. Now safe underneath. It is Travis Etienne on the receiving end. Etienne, the ball carrier, 14 carries for 114 yards. His 17th career 100-yard game. That ties Wayne Gallman for the most in Clemson history. And he's 43 rushing yards away for the most in Clemson history. What a career he has had in Death Valley.
4,000 yards. That's where he's going to end up.
On the ground, that's Dixon. You know, when you play for Clemson, you get all these extra games too, right?
Yeah, they played more games than anybody in college football the last 3 years.
Got to keep playing 15.
Yeah.
And they've been winning them all. That's what Dabo said. We got to go 30-0. And if he's right, they'll have won 2 national championships on their way to win 28 in a row this season. Here's Dixon. Wow, that looked easy. Lynn J. Dixon right through the heart of that Virginia defense. 23 yards for another Clemson touchdown.
Well, you got Travis Etienne with that great career. You don't know if he's going to come back for another one. And you're going to have to find the next guy. Lynn J. Dixon, just a true sophomore. Great blocking up front. And it's hard. Like, if you're Virginia front seven, it's hard, right? You're getting blown up. Hard to stop this offense, and wide open, gaping hole.
There's Potter. Extra point. 14 consecutive games with 2 or more rushing touchdowns. It's all going on for Clemson. We're back in a minute. Touchback, bring it out to the 25-yard line. You might have heard, you might have read, Dabo was on red alert all week.
People should focus more on who we are and not who we so-called play. I just don't think our team has been portrayed properly, and I think people have missed out on a beautiful football team. They are better in every area as a football team than that team that went 15-0 last year.
You know, they've won 27 in a row, and I was thinking about this. You know, how many teams win 27 in a row in college football? Remember, UCF went through that winning streak. Right. Dabo almost seems like he has to defend his winning streak the way UCF was defending their winning streak in a group of 5 situation as opposed to a power 5. And that would be unfair to Dabo and Clemson. Final minute of play here in the third quarter.
Well, I think the big thing is the ACC was down this year, right?
And down last year, too.
Well, last year they played 2 ranked teams in the ACC. NC State was ranked 16th, and Boston College was ranked 17th when they beat them. They played no ranked teams this year. If you go back to 2017 and 2016, they played 3 ranked ACC opponents in each of those seasons. So the fact that they didn't have any ranked opponents in the ACC this year, that NC State was down, right. Florida State,
they
Louisville.
Can't control that.
Yeah.
That is not Clemson's doing. And everybody has a Wofford on the schedule, right? Some people have 2 and 3 Woffords on the schedule.
They have 2 SEC teams in the non-conference.
I can say this. We've seen all the top teams in the country. LSU's as good as anyone. Ohio State's right up there. I know they're struggling tonight. Clemson is right there.
And that conversation will continue as we head for the fourth quarter. Trevor Lawrence and the Tigers. Thinking about trying to do something about that number 3 next to them. Maybe they can upgrade that as spotter. First Sergeant Frank Thomas just now with a stirring rendition of God Bless America. As we check out tonight's Aflac trivia question. If they win this year, Clemson will have won 3 national championships in 4 years. Now we're doing hypotheticals in the Aflac. Since 1936, how many times has that happened? Again, if Clemson wins, that's saying something, they will have won 3 national championships in 4 years. Since 1936, how many times has that happened? 1936 was the start of the AP poll.
Those were the area of Minnesota, right? Minnesota winning?
As we start quarter number 4. That was before I was born. I know you were around, Grease, for that. Perkins completing to Jana as we open up quarter number 4. Gain of 12 on the play.
Greasy has this one. I know he's really
And the answer,
I don't. I said Minnesota.
No, I don't see Minnesota there. Notre Dame, Nebraska, and Alabama. The only 3 times a school has won 3 national championships in 4 years.
Now, the one in the middle, that Nebraska one, that was a share, and I'm going to dispute that one.
And how did you know that off the tip of your tongue? That was the shared split national championship with the Brian Greasy's Michigan squad.
That's how we created the BCS after that season.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Frost didn't want any of us.
Scott Frost on line 1.
Depends on who you ask.
He did not want any of us.
It's like Perkins might have been grabbing his side there a little bit. It's Cowley in motion. Taulapapa running behind Cowley and still running. Pushing the pile.
You know, you might think that after the emotional win last week over Virginia Tech and a long season, a 9-win season, that this Virginia team, now they're getting blown out in this game 45-14, that there would be some letdown. But If you thought that, you don't really know Bronco Mendenhall, and you don't know the culture that he's building at Virginia. This team will play hard, and they will play for 60 minutes, no matter what the score is.
Here's Perkins. He'll just throw that away as there was pressure. There was story during that 2-win first season under Mendenhall against Oregon. They were down and out of the game, rallied to score 2 late touchdowns, and all the Oregon players were saying, hey, what's with you guys? You guys are getting killed. What's going on here? And that was really the start, the turnaround, and we asked Mendenhall about that. He said that's what he was most proud of that first season.
The most memorable part of that 2-10 season was that moment, and that just tells you what you need to know about what he's trying to build here. And we can't say enough about the toughness of Bryce Perkins. He took a bunch of shots against Virginia Tech a week ago, and he's taken a couple more here in this game.
He was stricken with tonsillitis prior to that game against Virginia Tech. Couldn't speak coming out of the Liberty game. Could barely call the plays in the huddle. That'll go incomplete.
And after the game, he had to go straight to the hospital, and they kept him overnight, and they drained his tonsils. I said they could not believe that he played in the game. And Brennan Armstrong had to get some snaps, and it just shows you like the leadership and the toughness of number 3.
Hey, the tonsillitis is nothing when you consider where Perkins has come from.
Right.
Had a couple of broken vertebrae in his neck back when he was at Arizona State. Doctor said you can fuse it, but you'll never play football again. And the other option is to rehab in 6-7 months and a couple of different neck braces. And that's the option he chose. Incomplete there, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, no question here. You still see he's holding that chest.
Perkins is coming out.
He took a big hit on that 2nd down play. I think it was Xavier Thomas that came in and got him.
They're going to kick. Down 45-14. Here's Brian Delaney setting up for what would be a 35-yard field goal attempt.
He's having a hard time breathing, Perkins is. Because of his ribs. He took a vicious shot.
Yeah, Todd, remember he got hit on the last drive and had to come out, and then the most recent one, I think, was the 2nd down play. He gets hit and goes to the ground. It's been a physical game. This was the play earlier.
Last lost a football game in the 2nd round of the playoffs. The senior year of his high school season. That's 2 years ago. Actually gave the offense and his team a 3-point lead, and the defense couldn't hang on. And that's the last time this guy has lost a football game. He said he begged his coach to let him go in on defense and try to protect that 3-point lead. But his winning streak and Clemson's winning streak appears to be in good fashion. Looking to up that to 28. Here's Cassidy Hubbard. We'll take some of that over here for 45-17. Clemson out in front of Virginia. And a new quarterback. Not necessarily a new quarterback. He's new in this game. It's Chase Bryce, a redshirt sophomore, who really saved last season's national championship by coming in and winning that Syracuse game. Richard Burney the stop on Lynn J. Dixon. No gain on the play there.
And yet another game where Trevor Lawrence doesn't play in the 4th quarter, right? Really the only game of the 20 that he started has he had to play in the 4th quarter, right? It's against North Carolina this year, and found out that they made just enough plays to win that game, but certainly that is the only thing as they go into the playoffs that they haven't accomplished this season.
We talked to Trevor this week, and he said that experience of being in that close game late should help serve them as they go down the stretch. And Jeff Scott said, hey, we know some 4th quarter football games are coming.
Yeah.
And they want to get going. But Etienne, see if we see him in the 4th quarter. Again, hardly gets any 4th quarter carries. as Lawrence sits out the rest of this one with 12 minutes left.
I thought it was interesting. Vegas thinks it's going to be a fourth quarter game between a mythical Ohio State or LSU matchup.
That's right. Here's Bryce to throw down the middle of the field. Say hi to Frank Ladson, the true freshman from Miami. Makes his 9th catch of the season. Beats Nick Grant for 57.
You talk about Sammy Watkins, you talk about Nuke Hopkins, Sammy Watkins, and now Higgins. You got Ross, and now here's the next one. Frank Ladson, Joseph Nada, both true freshmen. That's the next generation of Clemson receiver.
On the ground, Dixon. Back to the line of scrimmage. We're talking about Clemson and odds going forward. For those who think that Clemson belongs in that 3 spot, the third best team, Vegas would disagree with you.
Right,
Our friends at Caesars would have Clemson as a favorite over Ohio State, slight favorite, and a little bit more of a favorite against LSU. What do you think about that?
I think that's going to change after what's happening in Indianapolis tonight. But yeah, you're going to bet against Trevor Lawrence?
No.
I know what he can do in the playoffs. I'm not sure what Justin Fields can do in the playoffs.
That's a great point.
And Joe Burrow's had an unbelievable Heisman front-running year, no question. But he hasn't been in that playoff situation either. And LSU, a first-timer in the playoff.
The only one who has is Trevor Lawrence, who stared down the beast that is Alabama as a true freshman.
One of the best quarterback performances I can remember in college football.
They blew the doors off the Crimson Tide, 44-16.
And remember the first 2 throws of that game?
Yes.
He airmailed both of them and then bounces back in that setting. It was amazing.
Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage, nearly intercepted. It falls incomplete, and it'll be 4th down and goal. I asked Dabo yesterday, I said, all right, you're the committee. Where do you rank Clemson? And he said, hey, I just want to be in the top 4. It's like lottery. You got to be in it to win it. Clemson certainly will be in the college football playoff.
That's a selective amnesia that he's talking about in the media, in the national media, forgetting about what this team really is. And everybody's focused on who they've played, but it doesn't change who they are. And I agree with him. And all he's doing is defending his team, and that's his job.
He talked about being dropped down from number 1 to number 5 without losing. On their way to winning big here tonight.
The ACC Football Championship game on ABC is brought to you by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville, the all-new Ford Explorer, built Ford proud, and Pacific Life, 150 years strong, protection and retirement solutions for your future.
Can you imagine the Clemson trophy case? I mean, their mantle.
They got a big enough facility to house it all. I know that.
Piling up trophy after trophy, record after record, and another ACC championship game. Making some history tonight. Again, no school has won 5 consecutive conference championship games. Clemson appears to be on their way. 370 passing yards. That's an ACC championship game record for these same Tigers. And the beat goes on. Check out tonight's Pacific Life game summary. Take a look at our quarterbacks.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence came out sharp, getting the ball to T. Higgins, and Bryce Perkins, you know, we knew the challenge. He knew the challenge. When we talked with him last night about it, that over 74% of this offense has run through him, whether it's through the air or his legs, and he played valiantly tonight. I mean, he played tough. He ran the ball hard. He took some shots, but tonight is a night he can be proud of. And it's a season that he can be proud of, certainly.
Guy hasn't lost a game.
Talking about Bryce Perkins.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah.
I don't know which guy you're comparing him to.
They should both be proud.
Yeah.
Both be proud. Well, we do hope Perkins is okay. Again, we were under the impression that win or lose, Virginia would find their way to South FLA for the Orange Bowl. Should be a feather in their cap.
Well, this was a great stage for their program. Obviously, it hasn't played out the way they wanted it to, but they're still playing hard, and that says a lot.
And he's still in there. Still taking shots here. Slips down there on the Clemson sideline. They're quick to pick him up.
Well, this is part of the whole process, right? You know, it's such a clear difference in talent between these two teams. But you come out here, you fight, you learn from it, and they're just trying to continue to build what they really planned on. And as Coach said, Bronco said, it was a lot worse than I even expected when we took over.
And he said about this game today, he said every player that touches the ball for Clemson will be better than anyone that tries to tackle him for Virginia. So that speaks to the talent disparity in these two games. But, you know, what Virginia was trying to do was close the gap with everybody else, right? The gap between everybody else and Clemson is really immeasurable. You look at the all-ACC football team, as you would expect, dominated by Clemson. The one player Virginia got on the first team was Joe Reed, and he's injured tonight and unable to go. Interception, Isaiah Simmons for Clemson. And the defense continues to play big down the stretch for the Tigers, able to return it 22 yards back the other way.
The difficult thing about Isaiah Simmons is what we talked about earlier. You don't know if he's going to be rushing or he could be dropping, and that time he dropped right into the zone where Bryce Perkins never saw him.
Grease, Simmons is one of the most special talents that I've evaluated at the linebacker position. He's a safety at 6'4", 230 pounds. He's exactly what the NFL is looking for, and he gives so much flexibility to Brent Venables and this entire defense for Clemson.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block by Virginia, number 70. That penalty will be tacked on half the distance to the goal line and an automatic first down.
It's Bobby Haskins, the left tackle. Let's take a look at it.
Here's Haskins right here, the left tackle, and here's Isaiah Simmons. You can see Simmons just dropping, and looked like Perkins tried to fit that ball in past Isaiah Simmons. Not a good idea. And I didn't see the personal foul on that.
Yeah, neither did I.
There it is right there. That's a perfect call. That is the reason that rule has been put in. Behind the play, taking a shot at somebody.
That somebody was Tyler Davis. And now Clemson back to the ground game with Darian Rencher, his first carry. He'll pick up 3 on the play. And the Tigers are inside the 5-yard line with 9 minutes to go here in the fourth.
And that's not something that Bronco Mendenhall is going to stand for with Haskins.
That's Will Sweeney. If the last name sounds familiar, there's a relation there indeed. From Chase Bryce. Sweeney, the junior. That'll go as his 10th reception. Although no gain on the play. It's a flag has come back.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield on the offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Coach going to yell at his kid there? Or not?
I think he's got bigger fish to fry right now.
Maybe later. Will Sweeney, Drew Sweeney, both on the squad.
Look at those pants. Look at those pants at Blunt. Safety. There's not a whole lot of white left.
3rd down and goal now from the 4. Bryce going to keep it. Chase Bryce into the end zone for the touchdown. First rushing touchdown of the season for Chase Bryce. He had 4 passing touchdowns, and Clemson is piling on now to the tune of 54. 28-17.
That's great to see Trevor Lawrence come out and celebrate with Chase Bryce as he comes off the field.
Extra point. Potter pushes it through. Clemson is seeking their 8th consecutive win by 30 or more points. That would be the longest in the AP poll era, dating back to 1936. And what if I told you the 55 points by Clemson is the new ACC championship game record? Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, making every drive a chance to rise above. Goodyear, more driven. Charlotte has never looked more gorgeous on a championship Saturday night here in North Carolina, where Clemson is having their way with Virginia, 55-17. All I want to know is who's coming out of the Coastal next year.
The kid to recycle it.
7th different team Virginia is to come out of the Coastal. Here's Seneca Milledge up the middle of the field. Won't even get back to the 15. What's it all about? Who's in? Tomorrow we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff matchups. Reese and the fellas will also unveil the New Year's 6 matchups and the final top 25 rankings. And tonight, after UFC Fight Night in SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt, Herbie and Reese will join the show with their playoff predictions in SportsCenter. After UFC with SVP on ESPN and the ESPN app.
I'm hoping to make it back this year in one piece.
Don't you always get
2 years ago, I was on a horse. You guys threw me on a horse. Yeah. I found out I was allergic to horses.
Right.
And then last year, where were we? Utah?
Got snowed in.
Snowed in, never made it back.
Fumble, ball out at the 10. And it is recovered by Perkins. The travel woes of Todd McShay.
So Todd, if it were me, I would have LSU #1.
Yep, I agree.
And then based on whether Ohio State wins or loses, right, I'd have Clemson 2, Ohio State, and then Oklahoma. How about you?
I agree, and I don't like that.
You don't like it, or you don't like the agreeing part?
Are you allergic to that too, just like the horses?
Just like the horse. I think you have to go with LSU. I really do. I think Ohio State, what's the score now? Is it
21-17 still?
21-17, okay.
I mean, LSU today, that was a dominant performance. I guess, that was not just a...
All right. So we're okay with LSU's defense because today they were actually very good. But prior to today, that had been the knock, right? The big offense for LSU, and the question mark was their defense. Have you seen a complete team out of the Tigers?
They have gotten better on defense. Dave Aranda is a heck of a football coach. They've gotten better on the defensive side. There's no question. They were starting a true freshman, Derek Stingley, at corner. Delpit is an unbelievable player. And listen, I know that Georgia had a banged-up DeAndre Swift. They didn't have Cager. They only had Perkins for a half. But the way that they played today and the complementary football and the way that Joe Burrow is playing, Joe Burrow's having a season like Trevor Lawrence had a year ago.
Perkins is still in there fighting. He'll make a little shake and bake and won't get there for the first down. Is this a good time to remind you guys that no #1 seed has actually won the national championship? Is this a good? So we're all fighting over who wants to be #1. And
so this is my opinion, right?
Okay.
I think Clemson, certainly when they have the football, we've seen it tonight. They're going to score points on LSU. When LSU has the ball, I think the converse is going to happen, and it might come down to special teams in this matchup. And if it were me, BT Potter is not as proven, right? I don't think he's as proven. That is one question mark that I continue to have with the Clemson Tigers.
Will Sweeney is back. Well, you fair catch for Clemson. BT Potter looks on, and he'll hear about it later because his family is recording the game, that's for sure. We'll be back right after this. All right, Cassidy, thank you. Clemson back at it on the ground as the clock winds to 5.5 to play. And again, we started the night talking about the importance of number 1. You get to play number 4. That's probably the smaller part of it. The bigger part is avoiding Clemson. And now you would think Ohio State would certainly have that matchup. Ohio State Clemson, that'd be a good football game to attend.
Oh my God, yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Either one, yeah. I'm just selfishly hoping that we get to see Clemson against both those teams.
Here's Will Sweeney down the sideline showing off the wheels. The junior has 30 yards. 30 receiving yards there. Add to his total.
That's great for Will to get some catches. Came into the game with 9 on the season. He's the primary holder on field goals, and an opportunity for Dabo to really get some of these kids in and get some snaps for these older players.
He's the first son of a head coach to play at Clemson since Jimmy Howard back in 1963.
Someone read his notes this week, huh?
What do you think I do all week, McShay? And at this point, at 55-17, there might be a Herb Street sighting or two. We'll keep an eye on that as well.
And Brent Venables' kid is a linebacker.
Yes.
Jake Venables is a backup, a redshirt freshman, and going to be an outstanding player.
When they say football is family, Clemson, they mean it. There's Chase Bryce. Right back to Will Sweeney. He's the go-to guy now. Took a pretty good shot in the back. That's his 3rd catch of the night. Gives him 12 on the season.
Saying, feature me. Give me this hitch route on the outside. Now you know what's going through every one of these guys' minds, right? Who's going to be the guy that's going to score the touchdown?
You mean players think like that, Grease?
In this situation,
yeah.
Yes, they do.
See them pad some stats. Here's Michael Dukes from the haven't seen him department. Michael Dukes, true freshman from Charleston. That's his 30th rush of the season. Picks up 8 yards on the play. I don't know how close we're getting to total players, but if you recall earlier in the season, Dabo trotted out 111 different players. 111 players saw the field in their victory against Charlotte. I don't think we're approaching that, but well, maybe in the 80s. There's Dukes again for the first down.
My money's on Dukes here to get his touchdown.
All right.
Figure they're up, but they're up big. You don't want to throw the ball. Now, if they run the sprint out like they did to Renfro in the national championship game, if they run the sprint out to Sweeney, there's going to be some issue.
Stop hedging.
Out of the shotgun. On the ground, it is Dukes. I don't want you to be right so badly. That'll go for a loss. Greasy's impossible to be around. He's always right. Clemson, 617 total yards. A new ACC championship game record. They are rolling downhill.
I don't think this defense doesn't want to keep these. They know this is the backups in. Pride on the line.
First carry of the night for Ches Malusi. We've now seen Malusi, Dixon, Rencher, Dukes, and of course ETN. 5th different running back for Clemson to get a carry here tonight. We wind under a minute 40 now.
And every single starter for UVA still out there on defense.
3rd and goal. Here's Malusi down to the goal line. Signal is touchdown on one side. And it is a touchdown for the Tigers. And Clemson has hung a 60 spot on Virginia. 61 points is the most the Tigers have scored against any opponent all season. You got down?
Ball, yeah, take a look from this angle. It's hard to tell.
Extra point. And the Potter family will cheer. 62-17, all Tigers tonight. Seneca Milledge off the kickoff. He'll be dropped at about the 18-yard line. One last offensive series you might think for Virginia after the game. Stay tuned for the Ford wrap-up.
The obligatory ACC championship Gatorade.
That never gets old. Can we come up with a new tradition? No, the Gatorade. Are we still doing the Gatorade shower?
I'll come up with a new tradition. I'll get you up here in the booth with a little shower.
Tune into the ACC Network for the presentation of the ACC Championship Trophy. Brennan Armstrong is in at quarterback for Virginia. It's a short completion. 4 yards on the play. Josh Hoffman, our producer all season. Our director, Mike Schwab, and we believe is the best television crew in the business. I want to thank my personal MVP in the booth here every single week. That's Ben Boma. And we have a split for the co-rookies of the year. Tom Barbary, our statistician, and Nicole Rigoni, our booth coordinator.
Yes.
And everybody upstairs, downstairs, as we crisscross the country all season long, laughing our way through college football. We certainly hope you have enjoyed it with us, as they are enjoying it on the sideline. Now that's a great shot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And a great year for Bronco Mendenhall. You can't lose sight of that, right? Like the narrative of this game cannot override the season that he had. 9 wins and the Coastal Championship, and finally 15 years waiting to get over Virginia Tech. All of that, and to see him in the Orange Bowl at a New Year's Six game, that is what this season needs to be remembered at for Bronco Mendenhall.
Justin Mescal is down for Clemson and on his way up. Armstrong able to complete to Billy Kemp. We wind down the final half minute of play. Kemp's had himself a nice night on the receiving end. 9 catches tonight for Billy Kemp, the sophomore. And you're right, Grease. This has been when you think where Virginia's coming from, this has been a fine season. Intercepted. Picked off by Clemson. And it's Keith McGuire on the interception. With 10 seconds left to play before it's championship trophy time for the Tigers of Clemson. All right, Chris, who's the best team in the country right now in college football?
Gosh, that's hard.
Todd, stand by. Coming to you next year.
Gotcha.
I still... I'm gonna say LSU, but Clemson is right there with them.
Right. Todd, in agreement?
LSU.
Got it. As Dabo charges onto the field, victorious. They will award an MVP of the game. Greasy turned his back like a schoolgirl in class, so I wouldn't copy his homework assignment. And we have differed on the MVP selection of this game. Down to Maria Taylor.
All right, Coach, you made history. 5 straight ACC championships. What does it mean to this program and the team that performed as well?
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. I mean, just you know, got a group of young people that have just fought, and you don't get the chance to win 5 in a row without those previous teams that gave us the opportunity. So I'm thankful for all of our teams to give us this chance, but these guys have been amazing all year, so resilient, and to do something that's never been done You know, Coach Spurrier, I hope he's watching. Coach Spurrier called me last year and said, yep, yeah, you tied the Gators. You tied the Gators. Well, we broke the Gators tonight. So first time that's ever been done. It's just amazing, a lot of fun. And, you know, hopefully this will get us in the Final Four and get us a chance to go compete, keep it playing. But, man, how about this guy right here? What a great night by Trevor and all these guys. Super proud of our team, and we're 13-0, third time in the history of our school. So appreciate our crowd. It was an awesome night.
You think you'd be the #1 team in the nation?
No, we don't care. We just want to be in there somewhere. I mean, it don't matter. We just want to have a chance to continue to go, you know, compete and you know, compete to be the best. That's all we want.
All right, well, I'll talk to this quarterback that you've already given a lot of praise to. Over 300 yards passing. That seems like a normal day for you, Trevor. Talk to me about what the statement was that you guys wanted to make coming into this championship game.
Yeah, I mean, just the same thing for every game. We didn't want to change anything just because it's ACC championship. We want to prepare the same way, and I mean, this is a really good team. Virginia is. So just had a hard week of prep, really, just trying to get used to what they do defensively. They do a lot of good stuff. So, but it was really good to play a team like this week that gives you a lot of different looks. So then I'm just really proud of the way we handled it and came out with that fire, and really you could tell we want to win.
Your coach said this week that this year's team is even better than the team that went 15-0, won a national championship last year. How would you compare what you did last season to what's going on right now?
Yeah, I think it's hard to compare. I think we are better in some areas, and then obviously, I mean, we had some great players last year, but I mean, the way we're playing, and how consistently we've been playing, I think we might be.
Do you think you are the #1 team in the nation?
I think so, but I mean, hopefully in a couple weeks we'll get a chance to prove it.
All right, thanks for your time, Trevor.
Thank you.
I believe that opportunity is coming their way. Well, Dabo was much more receptive to Maria's questions than some of Paul Feinbaum's comments. We'll wrap it up. We come back just a bit. Tonight in Charlotte, Clemson earns their 28th consecutive win. And it's also their 8th consecutive victory by 30 or more points. That's the longest such streak dating back to 1936. All Tigers tonight as they blow out Virginia in the ACC championship. It's Clemson 62, Virginia 17. Clemson looking to jump up in the final rankings. We'll send you to Cassidy Hubbard in the Ford wrap-up.
It is my pleasure to be standing on this stage right now alongside ACC Commissioner John Swofford and tonight's winners, your Clemson Tigers. Commissioner, it is time now for you to present the trophy to head coach Dabo Swinney, these team captains, and the 2019 ACC champions.
Hey, let's go! Let's go!
Coach, this is your 5th straight ACC championship. I could just about hand this over to you and let you run the show from here. I know everyone is special. What does this one mean to you?
They are all special. You know, I tell them every team's like having a different child. You know, you love them all, and they all have their own personality, their own story, their own journey. But this team, I've probably enjoyed this team as much as any team I've ever coached. They've been a blast. They've just come to work day in and day out. And but I will say this, we got a chance to make history tonight and win our 5th in a row. But the only reason we got that chance is because of what those previous teams did. They gave us this opportunity, and it all builds on top of each other. So I'm just so proud of these guys, and I'm super proud of Virginia. What a year they had. That quarterback, unbelievable competitor. But at the end of the day, man, the only reason we're here is the good Lord upstairs giving us this platform to glorify him.
Coach, 28 straight wins for you guys, and tonight is a big one, but I know that this season is not done yet. As you look out at all of these players and all these fans, what's your message to them?
Well, this was our 28th win in a row, and we brought in Darryl Green, number 28, to come in and do our chapel today so that we could have a right to play on the 28th. But I just want to say thank you to our fans. What an incredible, passionate group of people that we have that follow us everywhere we go. We love you. We appreciate you. Y'all are what makes Clemson special. And listen, we're 13-0, third time in the history of our school. And surely they're going to send us somewhere to play after this. We're going to enjoy this one tonight. And then we need everybody to buy some tickets and travel wherever we're going. And let's get ready for the next one.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, it's time now to announce tonight's most valuable player for the 2019 ACC Championship, and this will probably come as no surprise to any of you. Congratulations, T. Higgins. An incredible performance from you tonight. 3 touchdowns, over 180 yards. As you look out, your teammates all around you, what does it mean to stand up here and accept this award?
You know, it's great. First, I want to thank God, thank my parents over there, and of course, I want to thank the O-line for helping Trevor off. You know, throw the ball. But yeah, man, it's a great opportunity, and thank you.
The 5th straight ACC championship for this group. What does this one mean to you guys? I know you're not done yet.
Man, it's great, you know. Won this game, now it's on to the next.
Congratulations. T. Higgins, everybody. On behalf of the Atlantic Coast Conference and the Charlotte Local Organizing Committee, we would like to thank you all for attending tonight's game, and congratulations one more time to your 2019 ACC champions, the Clemson Tigers. The video board for a tribute from tonight's game.
Take a shot. Wide open is Justin Ross, running away from people for the Clemson touchdown. ETN right up the gut of that Virginia defense. Touchdown. Lawrence back to the end zone, juggled and caught. T. Higgins. face. Perkins gets rid of it. It's Jana for the touchdown for Virginia. Here's Dixon. Wow, that looked easy. Lynn J. Dixon, 23 yards for another Clemson touchdown. White's going to keep it. Chase Price into the end zone for the touchdown. Here's Malusi down to the goal line. Signal is touchdown, and it is a touchdown for the Tigers. Clemson has hung a 60 spot on Virginia. Dabo charges onto the field victorious.
I would not go in the locker room first. I would go get them signed. They would my name was big. That's right.
There